Hello students, here I am going to discuss a question based on a aldol condensation. The question given over here is of the following which is the product formed when cyclohexanone undergoes aldol condensation followed by heating. You can pause the video for some time and try by yourself. Okay, done. So I'll explain you the basics of the aldol condensation. The aldol condensation goes this way. There are two types of aldol condensation. Okay, one is self aldol condensation and other is cross aldol condensation. Okay, here self aldol means two same molecules will be in the reactant mixture, and here two different reactant will be there in a aldol condensation. Now let us understand first aldol condensation, that is self aldol condensation. Means here I am taking the carbonyl compound. You take any carbonyl compound. Okay, let's take a ketone. I am taking this ketone and how many moles? 2 moles I am taking, and I am taking it in 10% NaOH. This is dilute NaOH base we are going to take, and what we get, okay, let's go into the mechanism. We are going to get something called as a aldol. Now I'll just write the thing over here. Okay, before going to this example, let's understand what is aldol. So I'm just writing aldol. Aldol means there is a aldehyde and the alcohol. Both the functional groups will be present in the product. That is what the aldol, general name of that product. So here it is with respect to the mechanism, what we can write is, that is step 1 I am writing. Step 1. This is, there are two molecules of the carbonyl. It could be a aldehyde or anything. Let's for better understanding, let's not take this example. Let's take other example. This way I'll take. Okay. Now here we are adding a base. This is this NaOH which we are adding is a source of OH minus. Source of OH minus ion. Now what is the role of OH minus? See, OH minus can act as a nucleophile, or it can act as a base, right? So in this case it is acting as a base, right, and not as a nucleophile. Now what is the role of a base? Role of a base, this abstracts a proton. Now what is the meaning of proton? Proton is a H plus. It abstracts a proton. Now here it abstracts a proton, the acidic proton, that is what we say. So here the one possibility is that if I write it in this form, this is the hydrogen possible, and the other hydrogen which is possible is this. It can remove this hydrogen, because why I am calling this is to be acidic hydrogen. Once this hydrogen is removed, there will be a formation of the negative charge, and that negative charge will be in conjugation with this pi bond, and that is how it will be stabilized. But OH minus abstracts, let's say this, if it abstracts over here, or other possibility is that it can abstract this hydrogen also. Now I'll mark this as A. Let's say if it is abstracting this, and if it is abstracting this, I will mark this process as a B. So what is the possibility? There is, if it is abstracting via A, then what I am going to get is CH2 minus C double bond O, CH2, CH3. This is what you are going to get. If it is abstracting this, any one, A or B, so if it is this, then this will be CH3, C double bond O. This is, here there will be a minus, and right. So this reaction, what we are doing is about a alpha hydrogen. Okay, this about the alpha hydrogen. This reaction is about alpha hydrogen. Now alpha hydrogen is, this is the alpha hydrogen and this is the another alpha hydrogen. This reactions which involves the breaking of the carbon hydrogen alpha hydrogen bond. If you see my previous video where I have explained the Cannizzaro reaction, by mistakenly what I have said is that this is alpha and this is beta. That is what I have said. This is alpha and this is beta. That is what I have said. But this is the alpha because this is the functional group which is connected to this, and this is the alpha over here. So please make a correction about that. So this is alpha and this is alpha. So there are two alpha, and that is what the alpha hydrogens will be abstracted. That is how you can other way you can remember. Now among these there is a formation of the carboanion. So which one is more stable? Carboanion. See, carboanion, if you see, then here there is no any inductive effect taking place, right? So stability, if you want to discuss, then it is in resonance, and also this negative charge is in resonance. So that is common thing with respect to this thing. But among this, still which one will be more stable? See, here this is something which is electron donating group through a plus I effect. This is the group which donates an electron through plus I effect. This is already negative, and if someone is donating an electron through the plus I effect, then what is going to happen? This is going to become less stable compared to this negative charge, because there is no group which is showing a plus I effect to this. So among this will be the most stable, right? So you are going to abstract a hydrogen from the alpha carbon, which is going to give you a more stable carboanion. Now this is the thing what we are going to get. So I'll clean this. So this is my step 1. Step 2 is what? Step 2 is this. This is my, I'll write it in other way. I'll write that carbonyl, carboanion in this side, CH2 minus, and this is CH2 and CH3. This is what I am writing. Then this is the fresh molecule, new fresh molecule, what I am taking. C double bond O, CH2, CH3, and here I am writing CH3. Right, same molecule it is, but fresh molecule I have taken. So this is the nucleophile. This is acting as a nucleophile over here. So what I can say is step 1 is the generation of the nucleophile by removal of the hydrogen. Next, what is going to happen? It is going to attack this carbon. Why only this carbon? Because this carbon is attached to oxygen, which is electronegative, and this is the carbon which is partially positive. All these three are not so positive as this carbon. So this is going to attack on this. So the product after this means this is the bond which is going to shift over here, and in that case what I can write is I will write in this manner. Let's say this is my, I will just number for, this is not according to the IUPAC nomenclature, I am just numbering so that we can keep a track. This is carbon 1, this is carbon 2, this is carbon 3, and this is carbon 4, right? So I am writing CH3, then CH2, then C double bond O minus, because this is the pi bond which is going to shift, this is O minus, and other is this CH3 I am writing over here, right? So this is the carbon 4, this is carbon 3, this is carbon 2, and this is carbon 1, and this is the new group which is going to connect. Now this is the new group, that is CH2, C double bond O, then CH2, CH3. This is the new group which is being connected over here. Means this is my, let's say 5, 6, 7, 8 carbon. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8 carbon. Yes. So this is how the thing is. Now here, if we see that what we are getting is a this is the group we actually what mistake we made at the beginning is yes, we started a reaction with a ketone, right? If we have started the reaction with a ketone, then the product which we will be getting is a ketol, okay? Right? I took this group so that I can explain you which hydrogen should be removed, which alpha hydrogen, right? So this is the, like, we will be getting, if I started the reaction with a ketone, then I will get a something called as ketol over here. So this is what the ketol is. Further, in the presence of acid, this is going to form a OH, right? So this is keto and all, that is alcohol. So this is the product which we are getting, ketol. And further, if you dehydrate this, then the most stable alkene will be formed, right? Most stable alkene will be that, see, in aldol condensation, whether it is starting compound is ketone or the aldehyde, after dehydration, you will get the compound, after dehydration, double bond will be always in conjugation with a pi bond. Means over here, this double bond means this OH, there will be removal of this water molecule and not from here, okay? Because if this is forming a double bond, if this is forming a double bond over here, right? This is in conjugation, right? Conjugation gives more stability to the double bond. This is what we know. So this is after dehydration. This is the final product we are getting, because intermediate we are getting a ketol. We are getting a ketol because we started with a ketone, and I wanted to explain you which alpha hydrogen to explain. That's why I took a ketone molecule. If I had started with a aldol, and there is, if it is a aldol aldehyde, then there is only one option, right? If it is a aldehyde, this is the aldehyde, and there is only one option that you can abstract this alpha hydrogen, right? So ketone will clear your doubts regarding which alpha hydrogen to abstract. So this is the final product which you will be getting. This is everything about the aldol condensation. Now coming back to our question. This question which is asked is about a self-aldol condensation, because what they have mentioned is cyclohexanone, right? Cyclohexanone. Cyclohexanone is this way. This is cyclohexanone. Now if you see over here, what did I tell you at the end of the explanation of the aldol, means which we were getting as a ketol? I told you that double bond will be always in the conjugation of with respect to the carbonyl's double bond, right? In which of the compound a double bond is in conjugation? Here there is no double bond, so this cannot be an answer. Here this is the double bond, it is in conjugation. Here there is no double bond, so this cannot be an answer. Here there are two products, either B or D. Okay, our chances of getting an answer correct is now 50% has increased, right? We understood that B or D. This is a double bond, this is a double bond, right? This is in conjugation. So which one will be the answer? So over here, this is a very symmetric compound, and these are the alpha hydrogens connected to this. These are the alpha hydrogens connected to it. You can remove any of the alpha hydrogens, right? So OH minus is going to remove one of the hydrogen, and you are going to get a nucleophile. This will be your nucleophile, right? I don't show that hydrogen. So this is the step one. This is the step one which I am doing, generation of the nucleophiles. Step two will be what? Take this nucleophile and react with a fresh molecule of the ketone. React with a fresh molecule of the ketone. Now again, it's very simple. Where this negative charge, or where this nucleophile or negative charge is going to attack, again on this carbon, because this is partially positive, and this is how the things will be forming. Means if I want to show you this, then in the next step, this is the double bond, then in the next step I can show this will change to O minus, right? This will change to O minus, right? So in the further, it will change to a acid. Now where the double bond will be formed, okay, so you understood where the OH is forming. O minus will change to OH. So here I am drawing it little bigger. OH, right? So OH means this hydrogen could be removed or this hydrogen could be removed after dehydration, right? So if the double bond is forming over here in the product, then it is not in conjugation with this pi bond. If it is forming over here, then it is in conjugation. So after dehydration, what product we will be getting is this way. Right? So this is the product which we will be getting. So answer is option B. Okay, now it's fine that you have understood the self-aldol condensation. If the molecules are a same aldehyde, okay, means if it is a aldehyde, then there is no option then abstracting this hydrogen, right? If it is a aldehyde. If it is a ketone, if it is some ketone like this, then you know which hydrogen, which alpha hydrogen you have to abstract, right? But if it is a case of the cross aldol condensation, if it is a case of the cross aldol condensation, means I am taking one aldehyde, I am taking an example of one aldehyde and other to be some ketone, right? Which alpha hydrogen you are going to abstract first? Okay, let's take this reaction and we are doing a aldol condensation, a dilute NaOH, right? Which alpha hydrogen you are going to remove, because this is also alpha and this is also alpha, this is also alpha. Okay, here doesn't matter, but any one hydrogen you can remove, but whether you are going to remove the alpha hydrogen of the aldehyde or whether the ketone. See, we know that the partial positive charge which is formed on this carbonyl and this carbonyl, among these two, this is magnitude of this positive charge is more because there is only one electron donating group. Here magnitude is less because there are two electron donating group. So once the nucleophile is formed, higher the positive charge, better will be the attack, better the reaction will be, right? So here you have to remove that alpha hydrogen which is going to have a better nucleophilic attack after the formation of the nucleophile. Means if I remove alpha hydrogen over here, then this is not so strong for the nucleophilic attack because the magnitude of the positive charge is more, and if we remove this, then this is better. So here whenever it is a aldehyde or a ketone, we have to remove the alpha hydrogen of the ketone. Means over here CH3, CH2, CH2O minus, this will be removed, means one of the hydrogen will be removed. This is the second step I am showing, and this is the next second molecule you are taking of the aldehyde, right? It is a cross aldol condensation. What I am explaining over here is a cross aldol condensation, two different aldehyde and ketone. So this is going to attack over here, and the thing what you are going to get is CO, then H minus, then this is CH2, C double bond O, CH3. This is going to get converted to the H, and after dehydration, what you are going to get is CH double bond CH, C double bond O, CH3. So this is where we understand what exactly is the aldol condensation.